Y'all, we in the ghetto.
We in the trenches bad right
The
now.
ghetto. Ooh, the ghetto.
I hope y'all can hear us. Hello.
The ghetto. So, firstly, let's just introduce what's happening because we are currently in the ghetto. No shade to this streaming service. They are saving the day. Shout out to Restream.
They are. Shout out to Restream down.
Shout out to Restream, I guess. So
they need their 10s.
They need their 8s. They definitely 8.
They 8. We're here.
We're here because we wouldn't be here without Restream. Shout out to Restream. StreamYard, you're on my shit list. So I don't know what StreamYard needs to do, but StreamYard needs to get their shit together.
StreamYard is down bad today. I don't know how anyone's doing it at this point. I was seeing on Twitter a lot of podcasts had stopped and got canceled because we use StreamYard. And now StreamYard is down. When you pull it up, it goes to a white screen. It doesn't work at all. It's just a mess. It's ghetto. So we're on Restream today. On Restream, we don't have the cute little background. We don't have our ad on the screen. We don't have the title, but we're here. And some of y'all was here when we didn't have all of that. So y'all know. Y'all know.
Now I will say this is the free version, so I don't know if they're gonna cut us out at a certain time. So actually, let's get into the episode. I just thought of that.
They be doing that?
I don't know. I don't know these folk, but it's free. So
that would be real ghetto. So if the live just stopped.
We did what we could do. Now, Eric L's, I hope I can show it.
Okay.
Eric L says they ate this episode and did.
This was a great episode. I was seated all 90 minutes. Like they did their big one.
Period. I'm actually fucking with the season. I was telling Lee, because you know me, I'm a head hater.
Head challenge hater.
And I was telling Lee, I was like, girl, I'm excited for Wednesday. I'm like, can Wednesday come? Like, I'm here for it. So I was having a very good time. I was very excited. And then I had a good time watching that. But I had a bad time watching the episode because outside things. But when I was able to get into the episode, I was loving it, y'all. I'm loving this season. They did their big one.
T. Fran said, love y'all making it through this final day of Mercury retrograde. So is that why? Oh, I can't pull them up no more.
I can pull them up. Love y'all. But shout out to T Fran 268 because T Fran's gonna be here regardless. Because earlier we had a stream on, it was wrong. T Fran saw I had to come back. Shout out to T Fran. Now,
T Fran.
That's what it was. It's Mercury retrograde. It's the retrograde.
She fucking us up.
Fucking everybody up. At least it's over. She can go ahead and go. Okay.
Tony time. Just Kyle says Tony time next time, girl.
I have a bone.
I fear it's only Tony time in my bedroom.
Let's get into the episode because I gotta drag him. So first of all, we started off. Of course, they're at the villa. They're getting to know each other. We're hearing some history. Firstly, Darrell and Aviv were on Fresh Meat, where they
won Fresh Meat.
Where they
real gaggy.
Very olden times. Before my time? Not that old?
Before your time.
Okay.
Well, Fresh Meat is in the era 2 of things, because she's in era 2. So it's not like, it is old, but it's not old. Like old. Like,
okay, I've never seen it. So yes, they won together. They have a long-lasting relationship. They've been friends since then, apparently. So put a pin in that, and we'll revisit.
Clearly, that didn't matter at all.
Clearly,
Darrell didn't give a good goddamn. And then people are sad. Cara's sad about Paulie leaving.
Oh yeah, Horacio was sad.
Horacio was sad about Nerese leaving, and it's like, I just wish I could be there to comfort Horacio because he needed it.
Okay. What about Cara?
Well,
not for her.
I mean, she got it on her own. So Horacio, he needs the comforting.
Ooh. I'm over here struggling, y'all. Oh. Okay, I'm pulling up the picture.
We got pictures.
Okay, boom. I'm pulling up the pictures. We still got pictures, y'all. Oh my god. Hold on. We're here. So we have the pictures on the screen. Go to YouTube. If you need to go to YouTube if you want to see the picture. Girl, you know what the fuck. So anyways, we found out that Emily and Brad are fucking down in the shower. Love that for them. Like I said, when my train, Brad is on my train.
Emily low-key got taste because later in the episode, she mentioned how she's in love with Casey too.
She did say that. She has really good taste. And I said Casey was on my train as well. So she's eating it.
Now, another girl with some good ass taste is Miss Naya. Okay. Because we get into her and Josh kissing in the pool. I gagged.
Now,
I gagged.
that is very gag worthy. It is actually very gag worthy for many reasons. Many reasons. For sure. One of them being, and I hate to say this, Naya, if you see this, you know, you're still my sister, but maybe my sister wife, because Josh is my man. And honestly, like Josh is like literally my man. Like y'all don't understand. Like I actually know Josh in real life. That's literally my man. We constantly talk.
Delulu.
We constantly talk, not Delulu. So I was confused why she was talking to my man, and it made more sense later when she was talking to Kylan, because she could stay over there with Kylan, because
you see, she clearly has a type. Afro-Latin men.
Afro-Latin men. Who like, let me just move forward. So we get to the challenge. And so TJ lets them know that first, we're going to have every era decide on 2 people to represent their era. Let's get that out of the way first. Very cute idea, very cute concept. I was like, what's this gonna get?
Well, so how did you feel about the idea of them switching from them competing within each other so quickly? Because now all of the teams are going to be going against each other.
Yeah, and you know, what I will say is that's what I would have assumed if I had no prior knowledge to kind of the season. So I guess it goes with the assumption. But honestly, by the time the season started, I had thought from some of the rumors, no shade, that they were going against each other. So now that I'm watching, I'm kind of like taken aback in the way of I was just expecting them to go head to head with each other. But going head to head with other seasons, I think it's kind of cute, because a part of me is like, okay, if Olivia goes against Michelle and then she's out and then she goes against Casey, at a point I am going to get bored of her having to go against the same people. So I would like Olivia versus Cara. What's going to happen? Obviously Olivia's going to lose, but still I do like right. That. Like, or Naya has to go against Aviv or something like that. That is interesting. So part of me is happy. How do you feel?
I like it as well for those same reasons, because we get a little bit of diversity in the eliminations, like this episode.
Why are they in the chat? Anyways, shout out to T-Fran. Thank you. Love y'all. Rewatching your videos is so fun.
Thank you for supporting us, sister.
We need it. So no, I'm kidding.
Especially today.
The challenge is Gladiator. Ooh, that sounds like me.
Oh, you a glad eater?
I'm definitely an eater. Gladly. It's gonna get ate. Actually, I prefer it gets eaten. 100%. I love a good. I was watching something. What's I watching? Don't remember. Some comedy movie.
Okay. I didn't know where we were going with that.
And basically, like one of the jokes was like, "Sit on my face," like, you know, the sit on my face jokes. That's not a joke for me. That's real life. But anyways, we move forward.
What type of segue was
so the goal is they have to race out to the boats. They race out to the boats. They get in the boats. They row the boats all the way around this island. Shout out to Vietnam for just having islands. Like, what? Like, I was
shut the hell up. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
No, I don't want to know.
Hey, listen, I have a point. When I watched the episode and he was like, row around the island, I was like, row around the island? But it's like they literally have island. Anyways.
What's wrong? Are you, hello? Do you hear yourself? Everyone has islands.
No, I don't have an island. Do Texas have an island?
They do. On the edge.
We're not on the edge. But is it row? The fact is that it's row aroundable. That's not gaggy?
No, it's not. It's an island.
You rode around an island?
No, I haven't.
Rolled around islands now. I'm sorry.
That was just a random thing to mention. Oh my God, they rode around an island.
Well, like I was actually surprised. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was genuinely surprised when he said roll around the
Everything
island.
that happened this episode, you gagged about rolling around an island.
I wasn't gagging about nothing. So after they do that, they come back and they have to eat a bunch of
Vietnamese delicacies.
There you go. It was gonna trip me up. They rhyme too much.
Did you read off the representatives for each team?
The representatives for each team are, you know what? Era 1, Jody and Darrell. Era 2, Derek and Aviv. Era 3, Tony and Avery. And Era 4, Kyland and Casey. I would have never volunteered.
I wouldn't have volunteered either because we find out volunteering is the worst decision you can make. But I definitely wouldn't have did it.
I would have never it never gets volunteered. They would have to vote me. But even then, they wouldn't have been able to vote me. I'm not doing it. How about that?
So I took a list of the Vietnamese delicacies. Okay. We have snake and rat medley.
That sounds good.
Pig brains with blood cake vinaigrette.
That sounds good.
Oh. Coconut worms. Balut. Boiled cow eyes. Ew. And then for the vegans, some nasty ass tofu and durian.
Okay. I'm glad they included stuff. What's durian?
I think that's like some stinky fruit that they made into a smoothie.
That makes sense. I'm glad they included something for the vegans because one of these times somebody was claiming and screaming and yelling that they're vegan, and then the next season all of a sudden they wasn't vegan. But I'm not gonna name names, but I do remember that happening. So
that did not happen.
That definitely happened with Tori.
Tori been vegan this whole time.
She claimed vegan one season. And then the season
I think since she started claiming vegan, she's been consistent with claiming vegan.
There was one season
I think you're remembering that wrong.
No, I promise you. I swear. She was vegan, right? She was vegan. And she couldn't eat. She had to have somebody else eat or something like that. And then the next season after that, she was eating. And I'm like, what happened? But maybe it was vegan that next season. Maybe they did make it vegan. But it was rigged. The point is, it was rigged.
I don't recall that. I think you just shitting on her name.
Well, if that's the case too, I'm fine with that too. So after they eat stuff, they have to put their shields of every season, logo, era, whatever, and they have to put them all in order. And the first person that does all of that, wins. The first team wins. And the two winners, of course, the two representatives for that team are the winners, and they're going to be deciding the other stuff. So we do the challenge very quickly. Era 3 is kind of eating it the fuck up.
Yeah, Era 3 was dominating, and I think that's what's so crazy. The fact that they're the era that dominated this entire episode and still lost a person. They could have lost 2 people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, T. Fran knows what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. T. Fran knows what I'm talking about. That was when Devin got to eat her portion in the finale of the Challenge 38. And then I swear the season after that, I was like, what happened? How can he eat her portion, but they can't eat their portion? Anyways, we move forward. So Era 1, though, flopping real bad. I wasn't surprised. I will say, even with Era 3 dominating, I wasn't surprised. I thought it would have been Era 2, but now that I'm looking at the picture of Era 2, I'm like, okay, I see why they're not eating that much, because there are some people who
especially like I feel like the type of challenges that they're doing, it's definitely more equipped for the people who've been doing Era 3 and then also Era 4, which is I think why they perform so well. Like I can see how they're going to be the dominating teams for this season. And Era 1, honestly, I just think in comparison, they really don't stack up as good enough to some of the other teams, unfortunately. So I'm not shocked that they're in last, but I don't want it to be a situation where they get ganged up on. Because that happens all the time in the challenge. They will gang up on a team, a duo, and just pagong them and get all of them out. And I don't want that.
Yeah, honestly, same. But also, like, Era 1, you got to step your pussy up. I don't know if they could have gotten different representatives for Era 1, because I don't even know who was in Era 1. But it seems like it's going to be very difficult for these people to win a challenge as a team, because you have to win as a team. And that was the problem. That's what Rachel said. Rachel was literally like rowing her boat, and she's like, I'm a great rower on my own, but now that I'm with this team, none of them are rowing right. They don't know what to do, so it's holding me back. And it's like, that's the issue. It's like, as a whole collective, it's never going to give.
They really just need to get to the individual portion of the season, and that may take a while because there's hella people here.
Yeah, 32. Woo. All
Still
right,
32 even after this
30,
episode?
30 now after this episode. So
Damn, and that's
good.
still a lot of people. That's like a full season right there.
Yeah, we just started. Okay, on episode 4. But boom. Era 3 ends up winning the challenge. Era 2 comes in second, Era 4 comes in third, and Era 1 is last. Era 1 was trying to catch up at the end when they got to like the
Era
actual
1 was struggling so bad. They kept ending up on the shore. Their boat was about to break. Literally, it wasn't until Era 3 started the shields, which is the
Yeah.
last part of the challenge, that Era 1 even arrived to eating. So it was bad. And if they show up like this every challenge, they're gonna keep being last.
Maybe it was just this one.
Girl.
Child.
Because I feel like they're gonna keep this concept for a while. All 4 teams compete. Though if you're last, you automatically go
You're
in.
automatically in. Yeah.
And now, if you're the target from that team, you automatically go in. So by the end of this episode, we learned that it's who from this era?
Anissa and
I need to go home.
Anissa and
Derek.
Derek, yeah.
Now Derek, he be eating up these eliminations, so it depends on him. But I just feel like, ooh, this section of the game, you're only as strong as your team. So it's like if your team sucks, you're gonna keep going in. And it's like, how many of y'all? Because if you watch Survivor, we see it all the time. Of like, well, how long are they gonna keep these teams divided before they merge? Like sometimes there have been one person going into a merge tribe. That's happened before. Yeah. So it's like, I would hate if like there's only 2 people left from this team, and then you go to the individual portion and they have nobody left to protect them.
Mm-hmm. That would be like what? That would have to be like 7. Well, a boy and a girl goes home every round probably until the individual portion at least. So 2, 3, 4. That would be 4 episodes from now if they all just go back to back to back. But I don't think so because even Darrell didn't go home this round.
That's T.
So
and I
like,
hope they
because
keep
of the eliminations are
like that.
Yes,
I hope the eliminations stay individual. But the way he announced it made me feel like sometimes they're going to be paired.
It was very specific. It really was.
Which I don't like that.
Individual eliminations, I think they could rock because that's something that I feel like Derek could win an individual if he's down there. Rachel could, CT could, Darrell just did. So it's like that would be helpful. I would prefer that rather than dual. So keep that up, please. So we finish out Era 3 wins. Of course, Tony and Avery are the winners of the challenge because they were the representatives.
But at what cost?
And at what cost?
Oh, Avery won 2 times this episode. Come on, Avery. Oh, and I'm so happy because the real world Portland representation is still going strong, mama. Like, we love that. We love that around here.
Jody and Darrell were last because they were the representatives for Era 1, so they're automatically going in. This is when TJ reveals that only the representatives are able to go in to be voted in. So only Aviv and Derek for Era 2 or Casey and Kylan for Era 4 can go in to compete against the others. And this part, even of the new twist where it's like the winners of the arena choose the representatives, I still don't kind of like that because it's like it's very limited to who can get chosen. It's only those people, and it's like I kind of don't like that, but
I like it more with the target thing, honestly. Yeah. But I don't love it for this portion because especially with them choosing a representative, it's like you are getting punished for trying to take initiative in your own game. And it's like, I'm wondering, is this going to continue to be the twist? Because who would want to volunteer at this point?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just, and that's the thing, it's just going to probably be the target thing from here on. And that is better, especially because they still get a chance to be the winners of the round. The 2 targets are still going to be the 2 people who might be able to choose someone to go in. So that's the pro. But it's just, I don't know. It's the fact that they can only choose from the other targets. Yes and no. I don't know.
I just wish it was more options when it came to this portion, the challenge portion, because the fact that only these 4 people are the people who are eligible, it's like I think it works for the edit they're trying to do, especially that little portion where they have to deliberate in the room.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And I guess with so many people, it helps keep it concise. They only really have to focus on those 4 narratives of this episode. They don't have to really focus on much else. So I guess, but we move. We go back to the villa. Back at the villa, we quickly see Josh get to work. You know, he from Big Brother Girl. He goes and talks to
Right.
Tony, and he's like, "Look, how about if you guys don't target Era 4, then Era 4 and Era 3 can probably work together." This is the idea that starts to build very quickly with Era 4 and Era 3 that both of them can work together as long as they don't put in Casey and Kylan.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. If they really link up and continue to dominate these challenges, it's going to be bad for Era 1 and Era 2. Really fucking bad. And the way this challenge went today, it feels like Era 3, Era 4 is going to keep dominating. It really does. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go, especially if they're working together. I was hoping to see maybe Era 1 and Era 2 try to come together a little bit, or at least Era 2 offer a deal. I didn't know why our Era 2 didn't offer like a Era deal like Era 4 was doing. But I feel like it's so funny that Era 4 did do that because they have the most like
strategic
CBS representation. And that's like highly strategic. And I feel like that was a really very strategic play of like, let's protect each other in that way. And I guess the other teams just didn't think of that because that would have been an easy play. And honestly, Era 2 has the better vets.
Yeah.
Like there's Bananas, there's Carl, there's Laurel, there's Emily. If they're promising me safety versus Era 4, I'm gonna go with Era 2.
Yeah, literally. I agree. But they didn't. And that's the issue. I think it was a good deal too. Like I see where because Tony's perspective is this is a great deal. This is gonna keep me protected allegedly. Because Streets also said, Streets being Avery on the show, said that he doesn't even want to be here and he was trying to quit the whole time. So his claim is this is a great deal. I'm definitely sticking with this. Whole time he knows that Avery and Derek are very close.
Besties, girl. They live with each other, apparently.
Lived with each other for years, apparently. So
I didn't even know this. Avery got hella connections. Like, girl, she only played 2 challenges, and everybody loves some Avery.
So Avery and Nia talk. Nia basically tells her, and Nia is one of many people who kind of tell her that she's like, well, it's definitely going to be better for your game if you protect your friend Derek. So you should definitely be protecting your friend Derek, period.
And I love that she stood on business because we've seen people before.
We've seen her before not stand on business. No shade.
We have when?
Last season, All Stars. She wasn't standing on nothing. Child.
Girl, it wasn't a decision like this that she ever got put into.
It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this.
Stop trying to come for her, man.
Avery is not the type to stand on business. She's the type to get convinced of other. Even this episode, no shade.
This episode,
well, she kind of did because she was standing on business, but also she was hyped up so much, and I feel like that was really getting to her. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Like, even her energy, it's like you ain't had this energy all of your challenge seasons, but
I do think she was gonna stand by her friend regardless. So it's like she's standing on business, and there hasn't been any evidence of her not standing on business.
Okay. You love you some Avery.
I'm not that I love Avery. I just don't like misinformation.
I felt like last season, All Stars 4, when I was watching Avery's game, I was like, "Oh, you're not really standing on anything. You're just letting
positions of power."
She was sometimes, and even those times where she got to vote because she was in the middle group, she would just vote with what they were telling
her allies.
They weren't her allies. They were random people she didn't know. She kept saying, "I don't know anybody. I'm just gonna vote with Laurel," and that was the issue. Damn,
I don't see it. This is a great episode for Avery. Can we praise Avery? Damn, get off her dick.
Let's give her 10s. Her 8s. So yeah, she did good, I guess. So
her and her stepkids. What she got with Adam?
Oh, I forgot about.
Are they married? Stepkids is crazy.
Stepkids is crazy. They miss her stepkids though.
She loves her some Adam.
She needs to break up with him now. But Casey and Olivia, they have a discussion about how they want to do the Eras thing too. They try to push that as well. Tony claims this is what he's doing, and we move forward. Finally, Derek pitches to Avery because a lot of the time it's other people pitching to Avery. No shade, but Derek does talk to her one time, and he's like, it'll be stupid not to take big shots at big threats like Kylan and Casey, because Casey goes to every final, and Kylan's a genius. And this whole idea of Kylan being a genius, I haven't seen the challenges he's played, but I've seen Big Brother, and he's smart, but they hyping him real bad. So I need to see what he's done on the challenge for real. They're like, Kylan is a genius. We definitely got to take him out. He's going to break their whole team. If Kylan goes, they're never going to win. I'm like, I don't know that he's that girl like that.
Kylan got some respect in the challenge house. I know that's right.
And I will give him that. He got some respect in my house. Let me stop. That's your man. That's your man. That's your man.
Yeah,
So,
keep it cute. Well, you don't ever care about other men, so
yeah, that's true. What other men? I don't. You
Corey.
can have Corey.
Okay,
Corey's fine as fuck. But you can
and
have
see, look
Corey.
at you.
You can have Corey. Because sometimes he's Corey is beautiful. I just don't need Corey the way I need some other people for sure.
Wanting Josh over Corey is crazy.
I feel like Josh has a little more fruit. The interrogation comes around, and Derek says, honestly, this wouldn't even be a question for me. And he started off strong because he's talking to Avery. He's looking at Tony. He's like, this wouldn't have been a question for our team. We would have immediately knew we weren't putting y'all in. And it would have been nothing. We could have walked out
This
very
was
fast.
nasty.
So he was doing good. He was doing good. He was doing good. And then he wasn't. Casey says, look, the reality is y'all aren't going to win every time. So because of that, we can offer you protection on those times you don't win. Period.
And this is why Era 2 should have definitely stepped up and tried to make a deal for their team too, because didn't Era 2 even get second this round, or did they get third?
Era 2 got, let me go look. Second? What the fuck was they
Like,
doing?
you are the stronger team in this scenario. Like, y'all have the better competitors. Y'all can protect them way more than Era 4.
And they didn't offer that. And I think it's because, well, I don't know why they didn't, because they still could have offered it. But Derek and Aviv are clearly like not the strongest of their team. So I guess they weren't thinking on that mindset. You know what? They weren't. Because right after this, Tony said, what can you offer? And Derek said, well, we're going to take out big targets. And it's like, ooh, you're thinking on the opposite spectrum of thought of what Tony is really on at this moment. Because Tony needs someone who can protect a big threat like him. And Derek just said in his face, he would take out and target big threats. And it's like,
yeah, Derek should have slipped up and said that. Because, like, girl, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? And I think that's the problem. Derek and Aviva are on that type of time when they should be on the type of time of we're gonna all work together. That's the thing. But era 3 and era 4 of the challenge has been all of the strong people link up, work together, protect each other. Era 2 was not that. It was more so you bitches can go if I don't fuck with you.
It's every man for themselves. Like, and that's the big thing. I guess less on the strategy is more so that is what the meta of the challenge has become. The strong people link up, go to the end, half of them lose because they can't win shit, you know? So yeah, I can see why he was leaning towards that, but it's just crazy that Era 2 didn't think to try to pitch that deal as well. Like, that's just shocking to me.
And then where was the help from like the people who play these often? Derek and Naveed don't play often, but Cara, Laurel, all of them, it's like, where was y'all advice? Y'all
maybe that's why, because they're so individual. It's like, well, hey,
yeah,
it ain't me.
They got it.
They clocked out. As soon as they learned that was safe, they clocked out.
Like all Laurel and Ryan did was after the interrogation. We'll get into it because then Tony turns to Darrell and Joe and says, who do y'all prefer? And Darrell is like, honestly, I feel like we could be Aviv, Aviv and Derek more.
And Aviv was gagged.
Aviv was gagged.
What happened to the fresh meat finale? Hello?
That was funny. And then they flash back to the fresh meat finale where she finished. She said she finished that puzzle and gave them a 3-hour lead. Okay.
Thank you. That was probably Darrell's last win, and it's no shade.
But my thing is, do Darrell even remember that?
Yeah, Darrell remember it. He's the one who brought it up in the first episode.
That's true, but like, he don't give a fuck, and that's the problem. And I will say,
the way he brought it up, it made me think that he would care. So it's shocking that he so blatantly in her face said, "Yeah, I want to go against you."
Yeah, I kind of like this Darrell because there are seasons he's played where he's a little bit more chill, relaxed, go with the flow. First episode, Derek volunteered. He didn't give a damn. He said, I'm not doing that. This episode, Aviv is clearly the weaker team. He said they can go in against us. Barry doesn't give a fuck. I really love that. And he usually has this energy. But on the All-Star seasons, it was giving dud. No shade.
Yeah, I don't like him on the All-Star seasons. But this season, especially with this Target thing, like, everyone is going to be involved, it feels, in some way. So you have to get in the field.
And put it on the floor. So, boom. After this, they leave, and it's just Tony and Avery. Tony and Avery talk. Tony's basically like, would you ever say Derek's name? Avery said, fuck no. Kylan is a genius. He's a mastermind. He's Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He has to be better. It will ruin their team. Tony said, "Well, I'm not here to play scared, so if I got to go in, I'm gonna go in." And
And he's
Avery was
like,
like, "Okay."
and she was like, that. I mean, that is playing scared because you're trying to protect the stronger team. Like, if you're not playing scared, then you throw in the strong players. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
nope.
So boom, they end that conversation, and they go to the toga party. At the toga party, really cute. A lot of people
You
was
see the
looking
scene
good.
of Jenny holding bananas.
Literally holding big ass bananas.
Like, Jenny is
Jenny
a
is
strong girl.
a strong woman. It's giving She-Hulk.
Literally.
God, what? Because
And
I can't even
Kylan,
hold bananas.
girl, I can't
And
even
I'm a
hold
boy.
myself. Holding bananas.
I can barely hold. Girl, I get tired holding this laundry basket earlier today, and I'm dead ass.
And
So
she picked him up like it wasn't nothing, like a
he was
feather.
like a feather,
But you
literally.
know who looked great at this toga party?
How can I mute you?
Kylan. And Naya thought
Naya did think so too. I will say. He was looking okay. Maybe in person, Kylan would be more enamoring, honestly. Because
you act like you haven't said on this same exact podcast and gagged over him in the past.
I mean, Kylan is cute. He's fine. He's cute. It's like Corey. I don't need Kylan.
But Josh is your man. I'm confused.
Josh is my man. Period. Naya gets with Kylan after getting with Josh, no shade. Kissing all up on him, eating all up on him. As she should, honestly.
Girl,
Very much so.
she has taste. She knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing. So they get in the bed, they start doing the thing. We see Theo and Olivia in the bed over there. What are they, exes? Or are they back together now? Something like that with Theo and Olivia. And
Theo
then
and
Devin
Olivia
and
are just like hooking up.
I
Like
think they were
they just
exes.
met each other. No, they just met each other.
Oh, they just met each other. Oh, okay, boom. And then Devin and Michelle are dating? Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So they were all hooking up as well. This is when everybody kind of sees Kylan and Naya hooking up, and they're downstairs all drunk, kiki cooing about the fact that she was with Josh earlier, and now she with Kylan now. Josh was laying down over her, got a little upset, had to get up, play some pool, be dramatic. You know him, girl. So he ends up in the room with Tori, and he's basically like, "Look, everybody making a joke of it. You know, I don't like that, but you're supposed to be my friend. So you being a part of that, I'm not
This
really
scene
rocking
was
with it."
so dramatic. Like it
They
was
were slurring
given.
their words. Oh.
One, they was drunk, but it was also given they just looking for a check. This ain't no real fight. I did not see this as no real fight at all. I was like, what are they talking about? He was like, I can't be your friend. You're not my friend. But I will say they flashed back to the Challenge USA 2. This is the second time they've referenced Challenge USA. Bring the shit back. But they went back to Challenge USA 2, where I forgot that Tori did turn on Josh. I forget the details, but she was a vote in getting him sent in. So he's apparently still pressed about that. You know, they're besties as a vacation alliance. So he's big mad.
Big mad. It's a mixture of both, and that's what Michelle was saying, because Michelle over there being messy. And she had a diary room. She was like, "Yeah, I don't think it's just that. I think it's also the fact that Tori was being messy, no shade." So this drama, they'll be over it tomorrow, honestly. Boom.
Yeah, they need to work together.
Jay says Devin and Michelle and Olivia and Theo got together in the house and are still together. That's what it is. I knew I saw Theo and Olivia were actually dating, but I think they're currently dating. And Devin and Michelle are currently.
Oh yeah, we're currently dating. Okay.
That's cute. Period. Good for them, for sure. Ryan and Laura talk. They are talking to Avery, and they're really hyping up Avery. And this is what I was talking about. Like they're hyping her up bad. Like
they are.
They're like
so disgusting, which is so hilarious because wait. So when did Laurel and Ryan have beef? Because did y'all see this Twitter team?
Girl, get into it.
Let's hop into that real quick. Because someone tweeted to Laurel, if I had $1 for every time Ryan talked about Laurel on his Instagram story, I'd probably be able to pay his yearly New York City rent for him. Laurel quoted and said, "Ha ha, I literally laughed out loud. Could you pay his back taxes too? He owes $14,000 to the IRS, and they sent him to collections." And this is where Ryan went on a good nasty rant He says, my taxes are paid off, baby, and I actually pay my rent, unlike you that mooches off of everyone. You meet as you collect dust in bed stores on your couches. He was reading. He was reading her down. But it was like 4 tweets. He was calling the homeless. He said, I gave you a set of keys to my apartment so you can come in and go and fighting with your ex. All types of tea. It was some nasty. Like, when are we gonna get to that beef? I want to see that because
I feel like both of them were being honest about each other for sure. I'm actually not a team. Actually, I don't
I'm
think I
team
would.
entertainment.
I'm team entertainment for sure. Keep it going. Keep fighting forever. Actually, never make up. I'm fucking with it. Period. Well, not fucking with it. I hope they get better. Well, no, I'm fucking with it. Bring it to the screen. No, keep it on Twitter.
Put
Bring
it
it
on
everywhere. Put it on the floor. So we get to the arena. And TJ asked Tony and Avery, what are y'all going to do? They have agreed. It is a stalemate. We kind of get some input from Avery that she feels like Tony is trying to quit, like we said. I want to. Do y'all know any tea on that, chat? By the way, because she kept saying it, and then at the end when he actually got to the arena, I was like, it's giving fraudulent. Like it's giving you're not actually.
Honestly, like, because he just willingly went in, like, I can see the theory. It's just, I feel like it's so unlike Tony. He's usually there to compete. I mean, and we just saw him on Challenge All Stars 4, where he had to leave to go take up some business at home. So it's like, I just assume he would want to be here to compete. So I feel like maybe it wasn't simply just that, but I don't know. It was really weird. This episode was really weird for him.
Yeah, and then the decision was stupid as fuck because I get putting it on the floor for an ally or for a move you feel like is very important, but all of this just to align with Era 4, Kylan and Casey are there. You don't even know them like that. And you're
At all.
It's like you shouldn't go in for them at all. It really doesn't make sense on his part. It makes a lot more sense on Avery's part. But honestly, if I was Avery,
I mean, he literally won this episode and got sent home in the same episode. It's insane.
It's literally insane. So yeah, they both have to go in. Avery was very frustrated because she's like, he's really just doing this because he wants to go home so bad. So that's that. So now Avery has to go against Jody, and Darrell and Tony have to go against each other. So,
and like I said earlier, I really liked that it was individual, but this kind of goes back to what I said in our last podcast. What I liked about the very physical eliminations is that you really can't help them. You got to go into the sand and come out your goddamn self. I hated the help this episode. I'm not a fan of help. I don't care if my faves stay because of it. I just don't like that they can get so much help from the other side, especially with Jody and Avery. Jody and Avery was depending almost 100% on their team's help. And I just wish we get to see it in a uncontrolled environment. Like, I really loved in Fresh Meat when they would take them from the group and have them do the elimination separately. They've done that in a few other seasons before too. I just like that better. Like, they shouldn't receive any help at all. If you can't get there and figure it out, you can't figure it out. Period.
Period. Somebody in the chat said Tony did lose his sibling, so I think he mentally checked out right now. That would make a lot more sense for why he seemed not about it in the challenge, because in the actual challenge, when they went head to head, him and Darrell, he was like missing some obvious things. He like did the same thing twice. Like he couldn't put a color next to a color, and he did it twice.
Yeah, like he got blown out of the water by Darrell. Darrell was like halfway done, and he had like 1 or 2.
I'm so sick of them helping on the sidelines, though. Like, not that it would have changed anything, but they were being very, like, they were literally telling them what to do. Put yellow first, then red.
Like when you get to Jody and Avery, they would put one down and look up.
Yeah,
and literally. Then they grab one. I don't have any more. What should I do next? What?
Take it all back. Start with yellow, go green, then red.
Like I live for Avery. She got her another elimination win, but girl, your team heavily helped with that. Heavily helped. And so I just hate those type of eliminations because it's like it's really unearned. It really is unearned in a way.
Yeah,
like
it honestly,
because you didn't get there and down there and earn it at all. You got help.
This was
and if you didn't have that team there, would you have beat Jody? Would she have beat Jody fair and square if she didn't have her team? But that's
Jody also didn't have her team, maybe because Jody was also getting help, and that's the issue. But honestly, it made this part the least interesting part of the episode. And for me, I like it when the eliminations are the most interesting part. So every time they help at an elimination, it sours the episode for me because it's like this episode was still good, but the elimination wasn't. I don't care about this elimination. It wasn't memorable. I didn't think it was that entertaining to watch to see them just waiting for people to tell them the answers. So the elimination was bad. Great episode though. So it's like y'all need to fix that. Y'all need to tell them to shut the fuck up. God, I don't know why they still allow that. It's so weird. I think they think it's like cute. Like a cute thing we have is that they can talk from the viewers lounge and help them if they're your ally, and that's why politicking is. Oh, please stop it.
It's just dumb.
It's just dumb. But anyways, we move. So, like we said, Tony ends up losing to Darrell, and Avery ends up beating Jody, which I do like that one person from era 1 went home and one from era 3 went home instead of two from the same era. Because seeing a 6-person team and then a bunch of 8-person teams would have actually been like, oh, they're gonna lose real bad. So I'm glad it's still evened out, to be honest. Boom. After this, TJ reveals the new twist. This episode, we have representatives from each team, but from here on out, the 2 people who win the arena will be choosing the targets of each era, and they will be the people vulnerable next episode. Very, very cutesy. We already talked about it. But Avery gets to choose all the guys, and Darrell gets to choose all the girls who are vulnerable. For which, I mean, I guess it's okay. A part of me was like, why? But I guess it's okay. For era 1, Avery chooses Derek, and Darrell chooses Anissa.
And it's like they hate Anissa bad. They want Anissa gone.
They feel like she dead weight, and I get it. Go ahead and let her go. So that was I think that was a good move for Darrell. Go ahead, put her in. And I don't like her, no shade. For era 2, they choose Bananas and Laurel, them heavy hitters.
That was nasty. That was nasty.
That was real.
Era 2 ain't losing, but that's the thing about this twist that you can go out there and have your best day in challenge history, and that just makes you available to go in.
Yeah, honestly, which is kind of tea. Era 3, Jordan volunteered, so Avery chose Jordan, and
I was like, girl,
Darrell chose.
Jordan's so annoying.
Darrell, he's so annoying. I wanted to literally ignore it. Darrell chose Nia, which was interesting. His options were Tori or Donna or Nia. He chose Nia, and it's like, I thought Nia was your girl, but I guess not. I think he's just known Tori for so long because they've done a lot of.
He a pussy and didn't want to get his back. He know Tori got some influence on that team. He's scared.
That's tea. And then era 4, they did Horacio and Jenny. Basically because they didn't know them. So that makes sense.
No one know era 4 like that.
Yeah. Like, who are these people? So boom, those are the people who are targets going into next episode. So one of them are going home.
And these are a lot of heavy hitters.
You do got a lot of heavy hitters. I was just going to say it's interesting because like one of those people or 2 of those people are going home. Horacio, Jenny, Jordan, Nia, Bananas, Laurel, or Derek and Anissa. Somebody going home. And it's like, you know the options already and everybody else is safe. Just like that. I'm safe. If they didn't save me this day at the arena, I'm safe for the whole next round. Which is another issue with the twist, in my opinion. It's like I kind of want to see people shaking in their boots for a second, but they don't got to shake in no boots.
Yeah, so like on a bigger level. I see what you mean.
Yeah, because now I know I'm not going in. Well, I can't. It's only them. But very cute episode. Loved it. Very excited for next episode. I'm having a great time this season, actually. Really having a good time. Loving it.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It was a great episode. Hopefully it keeps going like this. I think it will, though, because it's so many interesting dynamics that they have to cover.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a while, because usually with the challenge, it starts off great and there's a dip. So I'm hoping there's a while before a dip comes.
Yeah, it's so many dynamics that has to happen, like you said. So many different eras, so much different drama that still has to come to a head. So I'm here. I'm still seated. And we will be back next Wednesday, actually, right after the episode to get into it. So definitely tune in then, period. Love this. Love. We're also covering Big Brother, so make sure you get into our Big Brother coverage every Tuesday, every Thursday or whatever. Our finale of Claim to Fame will be coming this Friday.